Hey, Eagles fans, John Vittas back with you as we continue our coaches series. We're going to talk a little softball in this segment. We're joined with the only head softball coach FGCU has ever had, David Deiros, getting to the end of his second decade in Fort Myers. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Oh, pleasure to be here.
So this season obviously went differently than your first 17 in Fort Myers. You guys did get through about half of your schedule. And we're off to a great start. 19-8 was your record when things were shut down. You had won 6 out of 7. You scored double-digit runs in 4 of those 6 wins. So things were really clicking for your team. When you look back, aside from the obvious shutdown and not playing the second half of the schedule, what will you remember most from this year's team?
I think you hit on it the best is the way we were playing at the end. We were really playing good softball in all 3 facets. We were playing very strong defense, a lot of clean sheets coming off of games. We were scoring runs in a lot of different ways: power, speed, timely hitting. And I thought we were pitching it well. All 4 of our pitchers were doing a very nice job in their individual roles and collectively picking up after each other. So I was really enthusiastic getting ready for the ASUN season to start. That very weekend, we were going to face the best record in non-conference in the ASUN in Kennesaw State. We were number 2, so it's going to be a great clash of the Titans at our place. Fortunately, it didn't come to fruition.
You did get to play a lot of different non-conference opponents, though, on your home field. I think you hosted the first few weekends, and we got a chance to get a nice look at Nini Rowe, who was making a case to be one of the best freshmen in the country. She was batting .481 and struck out just 6 times in 27 games, was the anchor at the top of your batting order, such a young, promising player. I would assume she's part of the core moving forward. What type of a role do you see her playing for the next 3 years?
Well, if she continues to grow at the rate that she was growing this year, I think the sky's the limit. Here's the honest truth. When we left fall ball, she wasn't playing very well. We weren't projecting her as a starter after fall ball. So that's just the way that she approached her work over the break. And in January, she was lights out. And there was really no way to keep her out of the lineup. So, you forecast that kind of hard work and growth throughout her next 3 years, it's going to be great. But, she sets the table and she can also clear it too.
And your offense as a whole was a lot better than years past. You're a program that prides itself on pitching and defense, but you had 6 other starters aside from Nini batting over 300. So was this one of the better lineups you've had, because you do return most of them next season?
I think the biggest thing about it is we weren't one-dimensional. We were able to count on a variety of different people to be able to come up big in certain situations, and that was really from 1 through 9 in the lineup. If Reedy wasn't doing the job, then Mackenzie was doing the job. If Mackenzie wasn't getting it done, then Hope Hernandez came in and got some clutch hits. Haley Morrell in the middle of our year was absolutely lights out as far as driving in runs. So we had lots of different options to be able to go ahead and score, and that's a big deal.
Now, your roster turnover for baseball and softball programs in general, it can get pretty dicey because the NCAA gave spring athletes the chance to come back for a 5th year. But, of course, you've got your commits or freshmen, your junior college transfers. For you, only 4 seniors to figure out. They've all decided to move on, and you were saying how excited you are. They've gotten great opportunities to go on and pursue degrees at other schools. So for you, the turnover is just how you expected, and the majority of your stars are back for next season. I would imagine that's pretty exciting for a head coach, and the prospects for next season, and the expectations have to be sky high.
We would have loved to have been able to keep all 4 of our players, but they got great opportunities to go ahead and move forward. So we moved forward as we had planned, projecting who's going to fight out for positions. We have some newcomers coming in that will be able to immediately challenge for jobs. We've got a player who was a starter the previous year, Farley Callahan, who is out all year, and she's going to be able to challenge for a position in the outfield. So I'm really looking at a really deep team coming next year.
Yeah, and then in the circle, just to wrap things up, I mean, it's a rock solid group. Marissa Meesemore and Sarah Lawton, your 2 starters, will be seniors. They both had terrific numbers this past season. A couple of relievers that put up great numbers too. So, I mean, is this the most stability that you feel like you've had in a while?
It's the most continued consistency that we've had in a while, and it's the ability to rely on more than one pitcher. Marissa and Sarah were the only starters in the ASUN, only combo with 8 or more wins. No other team in the ASUN had it. Not very many teams in the country have that amount of performance from their starters. And then you can always rely on Emily and Taylor to go ahead and give us innings on the backside. And then we got 2 newcomers coming in. So we're going to be deep in the circle. Looking forward to using them all.
Last but not least, Coach, as you kind of attack the summer and then eventually the fall as you get into practice, no one knows how this is all going to play out moving forward. We're glad everyone's staying safe. But as a coach, how do you kind of navigate through this unusual time in terms of making sure your players are staying in shape, also staying safe, and trying to still develop?
Nothing's really changed from what we can do with them over the summer. It just started earlier. So we're not allowed. We can make suggestions as far as what kind of work they have to do over the summer, but it really is up to them. What we're doing on our side is making sure we're planning for the possibility, probability, contingency that we'll be able to start as normal, and then we'll make adjustments as the situation presents itself. But right now, we are planning for a normal start. We're planning for our entire team to be here in the fall, and we're going to prep them for a great 2021 season.
Sounds great. We're looking forward to it. Coach David Deiros, head softball coach at FGCU. Thank you so much for sharing some of your day with us, and we look forward to seeing your team out there next season.
Thanks, John. My pleasure.